You know what time it is. Bow, there it is. What up, though? It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing called The Wait a Minute Show. Once again in the building. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. You know how you normally kind of have a plan of doing things a certain way and you got it all mapped out, and then just something comes along and it just totally makes it go in a different direction. That's exactly what's going to happen here, ladies and gentlemen. We're still going to get back on course, but we got some stuff that we got to deviate from. But before we do that, my man Big Mo is in the building. What is up, Mo?
What's up, JB? Big
What's up?
stories today, big news, a lot going on, and I'm here for it all.
Yeah. So let me first say this and get this out the way. Hey,
Okay.
we want you to like, we want you to subscribe, we want you to follow the show, turn on the notifications, all that good stuff, right? Bam. Number one answer, Steve Harvey. So I need y'all to do that, but also I need y'all to hang here with me as we go through these topics. But before we get into the first topic, I want to throw something out. He ruined it yesterday when I was on Cooking with the Microwave. So we're going to try and do it again today. It's a day after, but it still counts. Happy birthday, Mo. Belated birthday. He had a birthday yesterday. I said happy birthday yesterday. I was going to say it today too, but he ruined yesterday.
No, we ain't got to fall out then. As long as you listen, as long as it was in your heart, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, we still probably going to fall out when I start talking here in just a moment, but it is what it is. So, but happy birthday, Mo.
I appreciate it, man. I will let you carry on now.
There you go. So we were going to start this thing off with what I thought was going to be AJ Brown news. And then just like that, something comes and says, no. Wait. And we're going to top that. So Myles Garrett, as we were planning to talk about other trades, Myles Garrett jumps in the front and he is now a member of the Los Angeles Rams. So there's a couple of things I'm going to talk about here, Mo, when it comes to this trade. I was shocked. I was surprised. I really did think that Cleveland was going to hold on to Myles Garrett. He's the face of the franchise. He's a reason why people were putting butts in the stands. Obviously, Shedeur is there, and that's going to have some impact. But definitely coming off 23 sacks and and all that. I think I'm even more surprised is that he went to the Los Angeles Rams of all teams. And once again, the Rams said, F them picks. and we going to get the person that we want. And I'm looking at this squad, Mo, and I know you hate it. I know you hate it. I know.
Listen, I was cussing all day today.
You hate it. And this move, as far as what the Rams are trying to do. Well, let me go to this. Yes or no? Jared Verse, is he ticked off?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
I think so.
Nobody want to play for Cleveland. I mean, I think he hurt.
I think he looked around and said, "Me?
That's a Super Bowl team, bro."
Yeah. So this trade, it puts. I mean, it was already going to be a competition in the NFC West, but I think this really elevates the LA Rams to another degree. And you saw what I was putting in the text as far as like who's going to be on that front line. And someone I was talking to, they made this comment, and I didn't even think about this. And when they said it, I said, "You're absolutely right." They said Aaron Donald's replacement. I didn't think that could be possible. Mm-hmm. And they have Aaron Donald's replacement.
Yep.
And along with this defense, the guys that they got as far as like Brisk and Turner and Landman and Bryant and on this back end, the deals that they did to get McDuffie in there, and you still got everyone coming back on the offensive side of the ball, and you expect some rookies that had some moments to continue to progress. I I don't think you can fault anyone to just say right now that the Rams, barring health, has wrapped up the NFC West, and it's going to be a fight for second place.
I agree. And I hate to say that. I mean, but you bringing in 125 sacks, 239 QB hits. You bringing in I'm gonna tell you. You know what's funny to me though? Jared Verse, you brought him up. He's going to be one of those players that just when it's all said and done, he's sitting on them podcasts, just talking about, oh man, the NFL business, man, it's crazy. It's just how I go. One day you wake up and you go from a Super Bowl contender to the Cleveland Browns, and that's what you don't want. And I feel bad for him, but I mean, it's Myles Garrett, bro. So yeah, it's gonna be a fight for second place.
Here's the even scarier part, Mo, that I just thought about. Myles Garrett is going to be even more motivated this year than what he was in previous years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
That like you just said, you go to a team that has Super Bowl aspiration. A lot of people is going to put them in the Super Bowl, and your mindset now is not, will we make the playoffs, or what is our quarterback situation, or what is our coach doing, or what is the GM, what is the owner like? You're not going to have any of those questions.
Right. You just get to suit up and play.
Suit up and play, and you legitimately got a chance to get to the Super Bowl. That's a scary sight for anybody that got to play the Rams this year, especially the NFC West, because you're going to have to see them twice. I want to flip it to the Browns, though, too, in this move, because GM, I forget his first name. I don't know why. I want to call him Eric Berry, but that might be somebody else. But I'm going to just call him GM Berry because that is his name. Is that the reason he said that he did this was that basically the Rams, came with an offer. Obviously, they weren't going to take the first offer, and they kept coming back. And now is to the point of, hey, you know what? Is this this too good to pass up? And that's exactly what they did. They said, we got a generational talent, but we got an opportunity to really make some noise here with getting assets, for that generational talent. And I get that. Here's the only problem part with that. You got to get these picks right then.
Because that's what I was going to say. It's like, that's cool. And I agree with him. We got an asset here, and we can make things happen. We can bring in pieces, but you've never done it. You've never done it right. You've never gotten it right. And that's the only thing that bothers me. It's like, if you're going to do it, then, make sure you don't miss. Because this you're not getting him back. This is Myles Garrett, bro. That's going to that type of player is a generational talent. And
generational talent.
Yeah, I just hope they get it right.
Yeah. I hope so.
With that sweating bullets. But it's the it's the NFL, and the draft, man, is never a guarantee. So
exactly.
It's a sure thing.
Someone that not sweating bullets, at least not right now, is the New England Patriots. So the worst kept secret, AJ Brown gets traded to New England. If you got something real quick, Mo, you can give your thoughts. Like I said, it's the worst kept secret. Obviously, they wanted a number one to replace Stephon Diggs, and obviously somebody that they felt was going to produce more than Stephon Diggs. AJ wanted out of Philadelphia. He wanted to get his money, get his stats, and all that stuff. And I think he's going to have that opportunity with New England. Does this shift and say that New England now is the front runner? I'm not willing to say that. It's just too much. It's too many teams and too many things that could happen in that conference for that to happen. So, but I do believe it was time for them to separate and go their own separate ways. But I do think AJ lands in a good spot because he was with Vrabel before, so that's his guy. And Drake May got a weapon, and trust, he gonna put that ball up.
Hey, listen, they just left the Super Bowl. It's AJ Brown. I mean, how can it be a bad situation?
Exactly.
Worked out for everybody. They got rid of a headache over in Philly, and New England got a weapon. So just another one of those many things to look forward to this upcoming season. So
it's gonna be good.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Worst kept secret. So we don't need to spend too much time on it because we've been talking about it for months.
Yeah.
The only thing I was wrong about with that, I was 22 minutes off because I thought the trade would be done at 4:01, and I guess they might have said, "Hey, we got this Myles thing, so hold tight," you know.
Yeah.
But they did it at 4:23, so close enough.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. Next up on here is this little thing called the NBA Finals. Might have heard about it. And the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs will be meeting game one this Wednesday. And we're not going to talk about the games. We're going to talk about who's going to win. All right. And if you were watching on Cooking with the Microwave, I guess it's a little bit of spoiler, but if you weren't, here's what I'm going to say. I said the Spurs in 5. I think I'm gonna stay with that. And the reason why is I said this before is just New York is going to play themselves, and the way the style that New York plays, San Antonio plays that same way. And I just think the difference maker that's going to be in this matchup is going to be Victor Wembanyama. It's going to be a good matchup. Mo, you talked about it. I would hope that it would go 7, and I'm hoping I'm wrong that it doesn't go 5. But that's where I'm at with it. I just think that Wembanyama might be able to be that much of an impact, and then New York has not played themselves all playoffs, so I think that's something to be said.
I love that. I like you said that yesterday. I like how you put that. They hadn't played themselves. Um, I got them in 5 too, but I also
Mm,
said I think it'll be 5 tight games. I think it'll be
yeah,
a good series. The games will be good. Let me put it like that.
yeah,
But
I
I
expect
don't, I see them, I see San Antonio edging them out every game. They starting out with a head start, playing at home, and it could get ugly real quick because hey, listen, Wimby might mess around and miss a game throwing them elbows. You
yeah, you
know,
gotta be careful on that.
I seen him do it again the other night. You know, so but
But ain't no way he getting kicked out unless he two-piece, Mitchell Robinson or something like that,
yeah,
then they're not gonna throw him out. The NBA
yeah,
ain't gonna want
nah,
that to
nah,
happen.
yeah, not right now because now I feel like this is one of those series to where it can help get the NBA back to where it needs to be. I don't want to get on
Mhm.
here and beat up on the NBA. I know I do that a lot, but I feel like this series right here is a good start for the reemergence of the NBA. New stars, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
like it.
I
I
love this
like it.
matchup. I didn't like it
Pistons
at first, but I love it now.
Pistons, Knicks, Celtics, and then no, I'm just saying as far as like you got a nucleus of teams that you can talk
Okay.
about where you
Okay.
got you got OKC, San Antonio, and then you probably can throw in Denver to a certain degree or Minnesota. We're still, looking kind of for that third team, but um you got some key nucleus teams that's just out there. To your point is that
Hmm.
I didn't, it is what it is, but I didn't like that. Like, it's not their fault. When Cleveland and Golden State was playing, we just knew they were going to meet, in the finals.
Hmm.
For us as fans, there's no fun in that.
Right.
Now, if that's your team, that's different, but there's no fun in that. Can Detroit do something? Possibly, but at least they're in the mix to talk about it. Boston, they're in the mix to talk about it. New York is back to relevancy, so it's to talk about. So that's more what I was getting at, is that you got these teams in the NBA. At least we can talk about these teams.
I thought you was finna try to insert your Detroit Pistons into
No,
the conversations, right? Okay, all
no,
right.
no, no, no,
I
no.
apologize for that. That's where I
We
thought you
yeah.
were going. That's why I laughed.
Nah, we at home, we watching just like everybody else, but I'm
Yeah, there
just
you
saying
go.
like the NBA got a good nucleus of teams, and then you'll probably get a couple other teams come up in the next season or
Hmm.
two. And that's good for basketball. That's good overall for the fan experience.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm ready to
Yeah.
watch. I'm just ready for Wednesday.
Yeah. Wednesday is gonna be good. Rich Paul had some comments and some thoughts when it came to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And as you see right there, he's talking about basically said if Pippen wasn't there, Jordan would be 0-6, bro, in NBA finals. I'm gonna disagree. With that, I know where he's going with it, but I'm gonna disagree. And here's why I'm gonna disagree. Jordan wouldn't even have a chance to be 0-6 without Pippen. So I don't see without Pippen. And for those who haven't seen it, the argument, it was Gilbert Arenas, Max Kellerman, and Rich Paul. As far and now it wasn't an argument, it was the debate, that they were having. And they were, making their points on, this whole situation. And I know Rich was saying you got to give Scotty credit for what he did and the impact of what he did on that team. Now, I think it was Max was I think he was arguing more of the fact or debating the fact that you could have got another all-star. And I don't think it's just that easy, to say, oh, we're just gonna plug and play, another all-star in here. Took Mike a while, him and Pip, to get to the finals, and then they started winning, but we saw it, and in no way am I comparing apples to apples on this, Mo. And I know you get it, but somebody will come for me on the internet. When Scotty played by himself, he got to the Eastern Conference Final without Michael Jordan. But to get that success, to be, where you want to be, and that's a champion, he needed Michael Jordan. And I would have felt it would have been the same way if Mike would have been playing without Scotty. I don't know if you can just put in another all-star and then have them mesh with Michael Jordan. That's not the easiest thing, to do. So I can't say, that 0-6. Yeah, I don't even think Jordan gets to 6 finals without Scottie Pippen. So he might, he could maybe get 2. He probably could get 2, but
You understand what you're doing now, right?
what am I doing?
You right now with that statement alone.
Besides pissing you off, what am I doing?
You're not pissing me off because I agree with you. I'm just surprised you said it. I'm surprised that that's how you feel. I'm surprised you said that because
why?
Is Michael Jordan the greatest of all time?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you.
Yes.
Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, but without Pippen, he wouldn't even have a chance to be 0-6, right?
Correct.
Okay, if that's the case, then now you gotta have that whole conversation all over again, because LeBron has never had a player of the caliber of Pippen alongside him, not once. Right?
D-Wade is close.
Be careful. No, he's not.
D-Wade is close.
D-Wade is close to what?
D-Wade is close.
Okay, I'm not going to do this on your platform, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you.
No. What? Here, let me further explain that, because you look like you're about to jump on me. I'm saying, as far as a guy, because remember, D-Wade was that guy with Shaq and got them a championship. So I'm not saying he's Pippen, but he's as close to Pippen as LeBron has had with anybody that he's played with. That's not saying a whole lot, though, because again, I don't want to get into a whole different type of debate. We're talking about whether or not he can do this without Pippen, and I'm saying if you feel like he don't even have a chance, then now you got to reconsider your whole GOAT debate, because LeBron James absolutely.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. And now we'll let the viewers or the listeners, argue amongst themselves.
But he's the greatest of all time because of Pippen. Pip did a lot of stuff. If you got to look at, and Max was talking about another all-star. Okay, so one, let's just play reality here, right? Not fantasy, reality.
Okay.
Who's gonna play with Mike?
Okay, I mean, listen.
And what I mean by that, in that era, guys weren't just going to other teams. So Charles, if you said Charles come to Chicago, he wasn't gonna run to Chicago. Mike, it was his boy, but he wasn't gonna run to Chicago. Reggie wasn't gonna run to Chicago. Magic not gonna run to Chicago. Bird not gonna run to Chicago. You got doggone sure Isaiah not running to Chicago. So that's why I'm saying, like, they're saying putting in another all-star, then Pip was at an all-time elite level. He was one of the original Dream Team members.
If you said just a second ago that Mike is the greatest of all time because of Scottie Pippen.
Yes.
So where's Scottie Pippen at in this conversation, in this GOAT conversation? If that's the case, I mean, you got a 1-2 punch right here. He accomplished just as much as Jordan did without him. Accomplished more than and I know where you're finna go with all of that, but come on, man.
Well, here's the thing I'm gonna say on that though, is that Scottie, his game was different than Mike. His requirements was different than Mike's. At any point in time, when the game was on the line, did they even consider Scottie Pippen?
They didn't have to.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point.
When Mike left,
it wasn't even a thought. It was, if it ends up in Scottie's hands by some pure whatever, I don't want to say luck or anything, but if it just happened to end up in Scottie's hand, then yeah, we're cool with Scottie taking the shot. But there was never a play that Phil Jackson drew up and said, all right, we're going to draw this one up for Scottie.
No, I wasn't. But I want you to go back and I want you to do some digging and correct me if I'm wrong. On those teams, Scottie Pippen he had the most rebounds, he had the assists, he had the whatever. All the other statistics, all the stats that mattered. He had that locked down, right?
Yeah.
And so when he needed to if he had to get a bucket, he could get a bucket. He can get them at will a lot of times. You disagree with that?
I disagree with that.
Scottie Pippen had the ability to get buckets.
No, Scottie Pippen does have the ability to get buckets. Don't get. I'm not doubting him on that. I'm talking about at the level, at the pressure of when Michael Jordan get those buckets, when Michael Jordan gets those stops, when Michael Jordan takes over a game. I can't say Scottie could go and take over a game the same way Michael Jordan did. And the other thing I'm gonna say, if you got 100 men, one on this side, one on this side, right? Or actually those 100 men, let's just say 100 men. And they got to play Jordan the next night, or they got to play Pippen the next night. Who you think is getting less sleep? The guys that's playing Jordan or the guys that's playing Pippen?
Listen. I'm saying all that, and I'm still calling Michael Jordan the greatest of all time.
Okay,
I just want people to understand that these arguments, you can't just, you got to be careful just throwing stuff out there. There's a lot of dogs that played in this game.
But the original argument is, well, Rich said he would be 0-6. I'm just saying he wouldn't without Scottie. They probably could get another person. They don't win 6 is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
He doesn't have 6.
I think I misunderstood your argument, but either way, I mean, without Pippen, Michael Jordan is Ray Allen.
Whoa. I'm glad you left. I'm glad you left. Let's move on before I lose my mind. Last thing we're going to talk about, MLB, Major League Baseball. And these folks over here trying to pay people hourly. Well, not quite. Not exactly. But Major League Baseball is back. I think since it was last presented in 1994, and they're back again. And they're trying to get this hard cap salary cap put on the league, $245 million, if I remember correctly. And plain and simple, you think that's going to happen? Do you really think that's going to happen? And I'm going to give you the Shannon Sharp. Ain't no way these players the Players Association is going to agree to this. The only way that the players end up agreeing to this, and this is going to be dramatic when I say this, Mo, and I know you're going to say you wildin', but follow me on this. There will have to be no baseball for 2 years.
You wildin'.
Nope. No baseball for 2 years. Here's why I'm saying that. They're in a position where they have leverage. They tried to present this before. The players was like, "Nah, we're not doing it." It led to a strike by the players, and then they missed. They didn't have the World Series that year, if I remember correctly, because the players was like, "Nah." That was part. I think that was part of the bargaining agreement. It was like, "Nah, we're not doing it," and the owners caved in, and they went ahead and said, "All right, no salary cap." So you got guys making even more now than what they were making then. And you think they're going to give that up to a cap? You think, teams like the Dodgers and Mets and everything that's spending money hand over foot, if that's the right term, you think they're going to say, all right, we're going to go with a cap now? I mean, the team wants it, but I'm just saying the players on those teams, no, because nobody's trying to give up that money. Everybody gonna feel that they're going back. Now they were talking about the agreement and how, I think it was 50-50 and it will kind of offset and the teams that's not spending money would come up and have to spend that money. Because I think one team, I think they're under now, I think they're $81 million for their everybody that they pay, on their team. So obviously that's well below 245 million, for the cap. They would have to come up. But then maybe you have other guys that's dispersed across the league, and then you maybe have a little bit more parity than loading up like the Dodgers have, and sometimes with other teams. But if you get in your way, nah, they not. I don't see them. I don't see them doing this. They're like, for what? For what? For what? Mo, am I tripping?
You tripping? No, yeah, you tripping.
Why am I tripping? Tell me why I'm tripping. If you right now, you living a great life, Mo. You living in a great house. You got your lady with you. You got your money, and I can get even more money come next contract. You gonna stand front in line and say, all right, let's go ahead and cap this, and
I
you
guess
may still get
when you put it like
get
that, I
your
can't
money, but
argue with
somebody
you.
else won't.
When you put it like that, I can't argue with you. I don't know. I guess when you look at the league and you just look at how things have always been done, and then you talk within a league like that where change don't happen often. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to say you're tripping. So I don't know. I guess you got to have just a new perspective on things.
I'm just saying, to me, I think baseball is the players have been willing to go a further step than any other sport. When you look at basketball, when you look at football, they only want to go so far, but then it's like, I don't want to sit out the whole year. I don't want to sit,
Right.
and then the players, be like, all right, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. You got the NFL. The NFL constantly has been it's about the shield. It's about the shield. And they operate like that. It's about the shield. They have never made it about the player unless it benefits the shield, and then they move on. NBA a little bit more leniency there. NBA players got a little bit more juice, but they ain't got the juice like no pun intended, like baseball players do.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not letting that go.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So yeah, it's gonna be tough. If they do it, I would be shocked. If they do it, I don't think they want to do that. It's like I want to do it like I did it yesterday, and it's been working all right.
Things don't change.
Yeah. So Mo, before we get out of here, I want to apologize to you and your San Francisco 49ers, because I know this ruined your day. And
I'm not coming back.
I'm just letting you know. It's almost like it's unfair, but they, yeah. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm calling front office.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the 49ers will do something and shock the world and pull something off. It's still time. But until then, if they do, we'll talk about it. and we'll talk about more topics. Get into the NBA Finals because at this point, somebody will be in the lead, and we'll talk about what's going on and other things in the NFL. But until then, again, make sure like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, follow your boy, and then we'll holler at you later. Two things as always: stay positive and push forward. Peace.